All right, so we're diving deep today, getting into this Vikings-Jets game in London. And you know what?
What's that?
We're looking at more than just the surface level stuff. You've got that stack of pre-game analysis and then those live updates coming in, right? We need to see how those line up.
Yeah, it's amazing how much the story can change once that game actually kicks off.
Totally. Okay, so at first glance, you see the Vikings, they're undefeated, you think easy win, right?
Right.
But those sources you've got, they tell a different story. That game against the Packers last week, that was close. Darnold, yeah, he had those 3 touchdowns, but
2 interceptions. Can't forget those.
exactly. And those weren't just, lucky breaks for the Packers. One was a bad decision under pressure.
Yep, forced it. The other one looked like he wasn't on the same page as his receiver. If I'm the Jets, I'm thinking, okay, how do we make Darnold uncomfortable again today?
Make him make those mistakes again.
Exactly.
And speaking of uncomfortable, we got to talk about Aaron Rodgers. Questionable status for this game. Limited practice all week. What do you think? Is he playing mind games?
Part of me thinks he could roll out there on crutches and still throw for 300 yards. But in all seriousness,
Right.
that knee, if it's really bothering him, that changes everything for the Jets.
Big time. Okay, so we're in London. The game's underway. Vikings score first, but it's a field goal, not a touchdown. Then, bam, Will McDonald sacks Darnold. What'd you make of that?
Sacks can really kill a drive's momentum. But bigger picture, remember those Darnold turnovers? The Jets, you've got to keep the pressure on.
Force him into those bad throws.
Exactly. If they can rattle him, who knows what could happen.
And then, oh boy, that first down call on Justin Jefferson
Close one, right.
looked really close. But the Jets coach, he didn't even challenge it.
And that tells me maybe even they weren't 100% sure. Those judgment calls in a close game, they can decide the whole thing.
No doubt. Okay, so we've got injury questions, momentum swings, even a little bit of officiating drama.
It's why we love this game.
It is. And this is shaping up to be a way more exciting matchup than people thought. So what are you watching for as this game unfolds?
Keep an eye on Rodgers. Can he still make those throws he's known for, especially if that knee is acting up?
Right.
Then there's the battle up front. Can the Jets keep the pressure on Darnold like we were talking about?
And what about the coaches? Those decisions they make, timeouts, when to go for it on 4th down.
All of it matters. You'll see coaches be really careful with their timeouts early in the game. If they burn one on a challenge in the first quarter, that could be a sign they're worried about having them later.
Interesting.
Like they don't think their team can control the clock. Those little things, those decisions, they tell a story.
Wow. What seemed like a boring Vikings win is now must-watch TV.
That's the beauty of it. Anything can happen. As you're watching, don't just focus on the score. Think about the things we talked about. The injuries, the pressure, those coaching decisions.
Because those details, that's where you see the real story of this game.
Exactly.
All right. Great stuff as always. Until next time.
See you then.